Ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between, welcome back to another episode of my book review channel where I honestly just review everything. I read everything, I review everything. I find that it makes me a better writer, and it helps make me a little more, better rounded when trying to think of where other people are coming from in my daily life. So it helps me just professionally. It helps me in my relationships, just having a well-rounded view. But of all the genres, my favorite is upmarket fiction. Upmarket, literary. I just absolutely love stories about people and just overcoming obstacles. And when you get to the end of the book, you see how they grew as a person. And honestly, there's no better book to represent that than The Light Between Oceans. This book, I picked it up. It was for sale at my local library, and I grabbed it right away because of the cover. My wife and I got married at a lighthouse here in Maine, and we are just very, very taken back by their beauty and their history. And this book was exactly what I'm looking for in a book by M.L. Stedman, The Light Between Oceans. It was just an absolute stunning read. Now it starts off with the end of the war in 1918. This gentleman, he's restationed from England to Australia, and he is stationed to operate one of the lighthouses off the coast of Paraguay. I'm probably saying that wrong, but anyways, it was the name of the coastal town where he was sent to stay. And while he was there, before he found his station in the lighthouse, he met this young girl named Isabel. So we got Thomas Sherborne and then Isabel. A little love connection starts, and as he starts finding out his new life on the lighthouse, she starts sending letters back and forth between the people coming to deliver his supplies. Needless to say, they decide to fall in love, they get married, and try again, they cannot have children. This becomes a great strain on their relationship, as Isabel wants nothing more than to be a mother, and she's getting a lot of postpartum depression. Our author right here, M.L. Stedman, doesn't come right out and say that she's getting postpartum depression, but she clearly is. Anyways, interesting turn of events. A boat just ends up finding itself on shore at the lighthouse. Well, there's a dead man inside the boat along with a screaming baby. So Isabel sees this as God sending the baby to her, so she can be a mother after all, and ends up falling in love with the baby. And they raise it as their own. They send news back to shore that they gave birth. When they go back there, her parents, the new grandparents, are absolutely delighted. They have a christening and everything. Needless to say, as some years pass and the child grows a little older, they find themselves on shore, and a gravestone catches their attention while they're attending a local funeral. And the mother of this baby and husband who were lost at sea becomes known to them. Now, really interesting twist is Tom Sherborne, the lighthouse keeper, ends up having a past interaction with the woman, so he knows the mother of the child, and he saved her from a altercation with a drunken sailor. So there's a little bit of a twist there, and now all of a sudden he's really torn because he already wanted to return this baby to shore and do the right thing, do the proper paperwork, go through the proper channels, but Isabel wanted to be a mother so bad, and this actually bringing her out of her depression, she was able to talk Tom into keeping the baby. So now they're in a turmoil because, even worse, he sees that the mother, the real biological mother of their daughter Lucy, is completely shredded by the loss of her husband and the loss of her daughter. So now he's torn between hurting his wife by taking her daughter away, or letting this other woman that didn't do any wrong continue to wonder what happened to her daughter and husband, who him and his wife had buried on the shore at the lighthouse. Interesting turn of events. Interesting turn of events as we find out what kind of a man Thomas is, and also Hannah and her family find out their backstory and how her husband Frank and her daughter Grace, who has been renamed to Lucy by the new couple, how they found themselves on that boat. And it was not just an interesting story filled with twists and turns, but it was just so beautiful to explore the human condition. And that's why I like upmarket fiction so much, because it's just so interesting to find out how people end up at the end of these books. Yep. No flash like science fiction or fantasy. No gore like horror. It's just beautiful books about people. And I do find it helps me to understand the people I surround myself with every day. And that's why I highly recommend this book to all of you folks. I will leave a link for it in the description below. I do suggest, if you like these kinds of books, that you think about purchasing a copy of the book yourself. And if you enjoy this content, please consider leaving a comment below, liking my channel, or possibly even subscribing. That's about it for this episode. I really appreciate you tuning in. You all have a wonderful day.